Talking about does exposure to media violence wider increase individuals' violent behavior, there are one research and two experiments add evidence to support the answer. As time goes by and the development of the media industry, people spend more time on media than they do before, and people find violent media is a risk factor that influences people's behavior in society. To begin with, in first research, the reason of that is the researchers try to prove what relationship exists between media violence and behavior of people. The aim is to explore the relationship from forms of violence that influence social or antisocial behavior. The hypothesis is if people like to watch violence on media, such as on TV, video games, and comic books, aggression level of violence would increase. Participants of task are individuals, male students and female students, offenders, people who play violence video games, and male readers of comic books. Task is that 20 male students and 20 female students were required to watch movies, and then researchers observing the different reaction from these students. In addition, found the habituation of offenders, such as the UK murderer James Bogle, always watch the violence film. Additionally, tested 33 people who play video games independently and examined the bias of processing social information and tried hostility. According to the research above, it can be concluded by researchers that depending on different people viewing violence, different characteristics behave different reaction to violent media. In addition, people behave more aggressive or more tendency to become offenders if they watch violent media or play violent video games. And this violent media would invoke people to become more hostile than non-violent media do. The limitation of research exists in aspects of research about media violence and offending behavior that research would not convincing enough. Now let's move on to the experiment 2. The reason of the experiment is that people want to know whether media violence would influence children's behavior in society. Then the aim is explore the relationship between violence shown on media and the influence on children or adolescents that author described. He also provided some examples, data, and an experiment to identify his point of view. The hypothesis is that if children or adolescents always see violence behavior on media, they may behave more aggressively than those children who did not see violence through media. Participants in this experiment are children, adults, and media. In Bandra's experiment, children are divided in 3 groups and watched a film that an actor asked an adult-sized doll to move. If the doll did not move, the actor would hit the doll. And the film also showed the consequence when the actor hit the doll. Then observe the reaction from children to the doll. The result of the experiment is that children in first group that children saw reward gained of actor after hit the doll, and in the second group that children saw no reward or punishment to actor. These children showed more aggressive than children in group 3 who saw punishment after the actor hit the doll. The researcher concluded the result from experiment is that children or adolescents affected by violent behavior are media, but they may react different due to different reasons. The limitation of this experiment is that there are many forms in media where Bandura only choose film or television as media platform in short term. Next time, maybe he can use variety platform of media to do experiment. Also, he can do experiment in long term. Continue to experiment 3. As development of media industry, people getting to find that more exposure to violent media, more violent behaviors engaged. The reason of the experiment is to improve whether discover right or not. One aim of the author are improved the limitation of previous experiments that chosen normative population as experimental objectives. For serious physical aggressive behavior, it cannot be evaluated. Another one is to explore the relationship between violent media and behaviors, violent or nonviolent behavior. The hypothesis is that there is a relationship in violent media and behavior of individuals. Participants in this experiment are students of high school, parents or guardians of students and their teachers. All participants are required to finish questionnaires are related to violent media and behavior by item score. Students' questionnaires are about the description of what do they think about their memories, behaviors, and physical aggressive behaviors in different age stages. And questionnaires of parents of guardians are their observations whether students reflect aggressive tendency. Some of teachers' questionnaires are similar with parents. However, there are some different that about their vision to students. According to questionnaires, high level of iterator alpha coefficients indicated that important relationship exists between violent media and violent or nonviolent behavior. Researchers concluded that from those experiments and data which show clearly significant relationship between childhood and media violence in general, aggressive behavior and violent behavior. Although there exist other risk factors related to the media and behavior. The limitation of the experiment is the bias of questionnaires, because the questionnaire is a kind of self-report that answers from people may respond with self-emotions. In conclusion, according to experiments and research above, it can be concluded that violent media influence people's behavior significantly in society. It is clearly shows that different forms of violence impact on aggressive behavior in first research. And in second experiment, Bandura declared that children's behavior are easy to be influenced by violent behavior. Also, the third experiment indicated that children or adolescents are affected by violent media significantly.